Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I'm here with your full Supermoon and Aries collective update. So, I know you guys have been probably feeling very angry, very anxious, very, I would say maybe even like held in like real tight, like holding into places, especially in the neck. I'm even seeing for some you guys have been like having headaches as well. Sorry if you guys hear the Dyson going off once again. It always decides to go off when I decide to make a video. So here we are again. But let's start with Aries energy. And as you guys can see, it's up here. Symbolism is the sheep or the ram, depending on which mythology you're looking at, and also as well, it is masculine energy. It is the technical first sign of the zodiac wheel. I have my own opinions on that, but this energy harbors in that masculine energy of the warrior, of ourselves, of who we are. I am. What do I fight for? What is my passion? It is a fire sign. So all of these themes, obviously, are here to show us with this full supermoon and aspects of completions of who we are as people, what it is that we're fighting for, what it is that we are passionate about, and what it is that drives us to live our everyday life. And I personally believe that the soul, this is the aspect of the soul in which of creation and fire and what we choose to embody and learn and grow from in that aspect. So old parts of us are dying, and this is to help us grow as individuals. So you're seeing aspects of yourself where you feel that you haven't seen growth, feeling of letting go of things where we feel that we cannot be ourselves, letting go of things where we feel that we are not getting what we want from things, and feeling of who and what this does, how this resonates with what we want, where we want to go in life, what it is that we choose to embody when it comes to our daily lives, and how we are as people. And Spirit's trying to help me out here, like put forth that action. I get this feeling sometimes, and I can't, like, because it's just like feeling, and I can't physically speak. I have a Mercury in Cancer, so obviously, like, I speak fluid feelings. I speak, like, I just feel, like, I speak emotionally, so I just feel things. But once again, let's get back on track here. It's all about the self. So this is about no one else but ourselves in that sense, where with the axis of Aries and Libra, as you guys have probably seen me talk about with the nodal shifts, Aries is about who we are as ourselves that brings to our personal relationships and our outer reality. So the opposite wheels there. So this is about Aries in the sense of the self. It can be selfish in its shadow side, but in its light side, which is the most important part of this video, because I actually have a lot of cool things to kind of go over with you guys in a few minutes. But this is who we are as people, and who we bring, like who we ourselves bring to the table of who we are in our relationships. So we are going through cycles of completion about old wounds of who we thought we were in relation to our old selves. So you're seeing like old patterns of yourself that you do not like. You're seeing old patterns of who you are and what you're fighting for and what you're passionate about that is just not fitting in with it. And you're probably even maybe changing a whole purpose in your life of what you're fighting for. And we're seeing where passion isn't alive in our relationships, what doesn't give us a purpose to live anymore. We're letting go of fighting battles that aren't ours to fight. And as you know, you guys probably have seen that Mars rules Aries. So it's about war, it's about sex, it's about drive, it's a physical action we take in our daily lives, and like the actual action we take. And seeing to where we cannot, like, we shouldn't be fighting and controlling too much, because let's be real, masculine energy, when it's in its shadow energy, you fight for power and control. You top down heavy control where it's dominance. It's trying to grasp that and seeing and coming to cycles of completion where you don't have all of that, or realizing that maybe this isn't who you are anymore. So it's very, once again, personal to anybody in this, like, who's watching this, essentially looking at your chart. So for example, I have a Virgo rising. I was born in like the last 5 degrees of Virgo, so this is technically in my 7th house, and so I'm seeing like my outer relationships. So it's personal for everybody, but it's also going to be very personal to you and who you are as a person, and where you are in your healing stage and where you're at, what you want personally in your life and your purpose. So we're also maybe seeing cycles of completion of personal projects, like being let go. So you may be realizing with yourself, like in certain things that you're doing in your daily life that aren't fitting anymore. So for example, like I'm realizing that maybe I don't want to be doing like a whole bunch of social media things anymore, or just those kinds of personal projects of my own that have no effect from anybody else down the line in that aspect. Also realizing that we have to change who we are in order to attract like partnerships that we want. So going back to that aspect of what we ourselves bring to our outer relationships, so we need to realize that we may need to change. We may want a partner who is kind, caring, loving, but we may need to let go of and change parts of ourselves that we don't like anymore, that we don't resonate with anymore, that's my old self. I don't want to deal with it, and I just don't feel like being this martyr. I don't feel like being the like I'm hearing idol worship by Paramore, so being this the guy, or being the person who is always there, like changing those aspects of ourselves. Also, too, coming to cycles of completion and realizing that this is who you are as a person. Let's go to the opposite aspect of it. You may be also realizing that not that you can't change who you are, but there are aspects of yourself that you've tried to change and that you can't change, and coming to that completion of realizing you are who you are. Those aspects of who you truly are down to the core within your soul, and seeing that you're not going to change for anybody else. Also, letting go of purposes that don't align with yours, like letting go of ideas or things that just, and passions that just don't fit, and hold on, and also seeing cycles of completions of massive, because this is SuperMoon, so it's being amplified. What you live for isn't what you live for anymore, or what you like isn't what you like anymore. What you feel that your purpose is not your purpose anymore, and it's, and I feel like people are dragging and pulling. So I got a few minutes left, so this is the fun part. I was channeling these messages through, and I had 3 amazing deities and gods that actually came through that I was like honored, because I love mythology. I love looking into stories. I love finding all the lost things. So this is going to be, I'm so excited for this part. But so Achilles from Greek mythology came through. I'm a big fan of the movie Troy. I love that movie, and I resonate with Achilles so much. So when he came in, I was ecstatic. I could, but he let me tell you the other 3, or the other 2. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce the full name fully, but the Archangel of Aries, Malahadil, I can't pronounce this, so I'm sorry I butchered your name. And then Sekhmet from Egyptian mythology. So we got some really beautiful deities and angels here to really help us out. But Achilles wants us to know that the path of war, it always leads to destruction. And this is something that you guys have probably seen me talk about in my videos, and I'm going to say it fully now. We are in a massive spiritual war right now between the light, the dark, and I would say the Draconians and the Archons. Now, whether you guys believe this or not, that is up to you. Feel free to look into it. Maybe if you guys would like to see a video about it, feel free to put it in the comment box down below. Just a set video for that. But he wants to remind us that no matter what war you're fighting, it always leads to destruction. And so, essentially, he asks us, what are you fighting for in this path, in the war, which is maybe a war within yourself, or where you're fighting for in your daily life, but it always leads to destruction in some way, some form, if it's taken out of control in its shadow aspect. So he says deep down what it is that you're fighting for. What is it that brings you to come every day to serve to the table? And he says that many people are feeling lost right now. Like lost where they don't know their purpose, but this is for you to ground yourself back on track and come to the cycle of completion within this full moon, SuperMoon, I should say, to bring you back on the path of which you serve and live for, and that passion, that drive. So, as you guys have seen in the movie Troy, he was very confident, arrogant, but he says, have confidence and arrogance in the right places. But remember, war teaches you that you have to save yourself first, which humanity is still learning. And so he wants us to close a chapter and heal within this, and see in your life, where do you come first? Like massive. Like, I'm telling you, I was like shook by this. Like, and I was like, but I was honored to actually have him tell me these things. So once again, war teaches you have to save yourself first. And essentially, for those of you, I know a couple people who have served in war, so essentially you will save other people or try to help other people, but you're going for your own life first. And so this is a big, massive place of where you're coming to cycles of completion and healing, and you may be seeing that coming up through trigger responses and trauma, where you have not been able to fight for yourself first. Where have you been putting, I won't say other people, but other people's passions, ideas. I'm also seeing, hey, for those of you who are my age, Cinderella story with Hilary Duff, when they told, I forget the guy's name, Chad, but that he's like, what are you doing? You're throwing away your dream. And he's like, no, Dad, I'm throwing away yours. So this is where we need to see where we come first. Archangel of Aries, I'm not going to mispronounce his name, but he wants us to be more like believe in our purpose and our strongly, fierce, fiery passion. And this is something that we need to realize it's meant to make us feel alive. This is where this Aries energy is. Feel alive, fight for the purpose, always fighting for peace. And that's the thing we forget about Mars and Aries energy. We are fighting for peace. We are not fighting towards that destruction. And this is really important, because ask yourself these questions. And I have to do it too, because I have been off track with it, because we get so caught up in the daily grind. But this segues into Sekhmet, and she is this beautiful feminine energy, and she said to me, and us, release hate and see anger as the passion for something you feel you have not have had before, or to see where your passion is. So if you get angry about things, like about people being mistreated, it made me realize I still had a passion for sociology, and how I loved seeing that people, like, my passion truly is in this world, is to see that when you're being tricked and duped, because I've been lied to and manipulated and my whole life essentially by people around me, that it really bothered me. And I realized I had a gift, and I realized my passion in life was to show people that, you're worth more than what you are. And I got to step into that a little bit more myself, and I'm working on it. But seeing where that anger shows you where you have a passion and drive for life about yourself. Anger shows you something really about yourself and what you're driven to and what you're passionate about. And she wants to remind us that hate, death, and viciousness is not this sign, like, in a shadow form. And it is, but she's saying that this is not the archetypal energy that this was meant to bring. And we need to allow masculine light to fill you up, and not the shadow of control. And as you guys have seen with war and destruction, genocides, all of those things that you've seen in our history, that masculine light energy is all about us taking control of our own lives, taking action and moving forward here, taking that action and being confident with where you're going, and showing dominance through that confidence, and being a true leader in that sense. And so this is where the shadow energy comes in, and the shadow energy is control, dominance, beating the shit out of somebody till you get your answers, those kinds of things, berating somebody, bullying somebody by words, like those kinds of things, or bullying in the physical. That is masculine energy, and shadow side always pushing, and not being able to hear the answer no. But for those of you who are in feminine energy, most of you would like a partner, or who is in their true light side of masculine energy, who can lead, step up, take the torch, and kind of guide and be in their mental energy, knowing and showing that confidence. I feel it worked that way. But Spirit's guidance to us is a 7 of Swords, and once again reversed. Going off of what Sekhmet said, we need to stop lying to ourselves and realize that some people are here just to take your energy, and I feel like some people are stealing from you. This may be somebody from but they have not so good intentions. I don't like this energy, I don't like this person, but they take from you, and you're kind of oblivious to it. But Spirit's guidance to us right now is to stop lying to ourselves, make sure that we have our own set plans, step into that masculine energy and that light side, and take control back, and not essentially, I would say, lie to ourselves. But best practical action for us to take, I got like 40 seconds left, or 20 seconds left. 7 of Wands upright, the World upright, and I have the 4 of Swords reversed. It is time for us to set our boundaries, work harder, and also close out those cycles of completion where we don't get that mental peace. It's time to let these people go. So until next time, namaste.